This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all viewers and listeners who are tuning in INC Radio Texas. And here is your host. My name is Bernard Gonzaga, and I welcome you to our INC Radio Texas. And here are my co-host and panelists. We have one here all the way to Corpus Christi, which is a Sister Mary. Hi, how are you?
Hi, welcome. I'm good, brother. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Of course, our my lovely co-host, Sister Jamie. How are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and thank you all for tuning in. I'm Sister Jamie, coming to you from Austin, Texas, which is a balmy 95 degrees today, or 35 degrees for those of you in the metric system. It's pretty warm. How are you, Brother Byrne?
For me, that is hot. It ain't warm. How about you, brother Justin? How are you?
I'm doing fine, and yeah, it's hot outside. Yeah, that's why I have the AC blasting. I'm actually right beneath the vent. That's why I'm wearing a jacket right now. But hello to our viewers and listeners tuning in with us here in INC Texas Satellite Studio.
All good for you, brother Justin. You have an AC in front of you. For me, I'm looking
It's
at
not in
a
front of
wall.
me; it's above me.
Okay. Oh, well, that's much better then. Not too hot anymore. Of course, here in our INC Radio Texas, we have our hashtag challenge. We have for those who are tuning in and just comment on the chat section hashtag your locale. It could be hashtag Umbo, hashtag Corpus Christi, hashtag Austin, hashtag Sugarland. Just comment on your locale with the hashtag and before your locale, and we will count it for the next week who will win. For for this week's winner, Kuya. Bef-
Today, in our hashtag challenge feature, we want to give a shout out to the local congregation of Corpus Christi. Congratulations and thank you for tuning in. Now, if you want your local congregation to be featured, all you need to do is send one of the local hashtags as many times as possible, and we will see who will win after today. Don't forget to subscribe to our INC Radio YouTube channel.
Awesome, good job, Corpus Christi. Again, we have a representative here in our panelist. Congratulations. Hopefully, we'll see you again next week for the hashtag challenge. And for a question for today, what's the icebreaker? We'll do an icebreaker first, right? Just brother Justin.
Yes, thank you so much, Queer Burn. Yes, as Queer Burn was saying, congratulations to all of our viewers and listeners for being with us in our hashtag challenge, and of course, to Corpus Christi for having the most hashtags last week. Now, before we move on to our top discussion, we have a little game now for our viewers and listeners who were with us last week. We do have a game which is this or that, which is kind of similar to what we did last week, but we're gonna make it a little twist to it. So we do have a teacher here with us, Sister Mary. So what will happen is a pair of supplies will be that's primarily used by teachers will be displayed on our screen right here, and then and Sister Mary, of course, our lovely panelists here can chime in as well. We'll explain which of the two they prefer and why. And before we move forward, we do have our question of the day, which is what's a question or comment you have for our teachers? So please let us know in our live YouTube chat, and we will be sure to have your comments read at some point during our show. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at the first slide. Okay, so this or that, we have a chalkboard or a dry erase board? So, Sister Mary, which one would you prefer, one or the other?
Ooh, I would rather choose the dry erase board because it is more safe and more easy to use. Well, rather than the chalkboard, because well, if you choose chalkboard, chalk dust might get into your lungs that lead to breathing difficulties like asthma, right? So I would rather choose the second one, dry erase
I
board.
have so much fun on that chalkboard though.
So do
Oh.
I. I mean, I get it.
As in
It's
being
not as
punished.
I see some
When you write,
flashbacks
I
right
will
now.
never, do this again, and then
I'll
you have
never
to
throw
write.
food in the room
I'll never.
Hmm.
again.
Uh-huh. I see some
Okay.
flashbacks right now. Writing, who's the noisiest? Everyone likes to do that. Teacher, this one.
I get why people would prefer either dry erase board over chalkboard, but I just have so much fun memories um uh, uh, with the chalkboard. Like even just the texture. Of course, if you're using the right chalk, it just gives you that feeling. Don't you think, Kuya Burn?
Yes, yes, and
Oh,
and
like and
and
like the how it clicks on the board. It's like such a nice
yep,
sound.
and you'll see your hands all white.
White.
Okay, all right, and then the next supplies we have are either a handheld sharpener or an electric sharpener. Okay, so Sister Mary, which of the two would you
Yes,
prefer?
I would rather choose the handheld sharpener because it is small and handy, and all students can have it rather than electric sharpener. So you can use it only if there is a power by plugging it in, right? So I would rather choose the first one.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
electric sharpener is more of the high end ones.
Yeah.
Or you're prone to accidents and
Oh, that's
Mm.
true.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been so long since I've been in school. It's been decades, not to age myself. Do kids still use pencils for writing? I'm just
yes,
curious. Really? Okay.
yes. Back when I
Sister
used to
Savannah's
work,
like saying yes.
Oh wow.
yeah, back when I
I
used
actually
to.
prefer pencil, sister.
Mhm.
Oh, really? You do? Maybe we should go back to our last broadcast and see that that's what you actually said in our show.
So
Do you
to
guys
add
remember those big pencils?
The
Who
jumbo one?
the jumbo
Yeah.
ones? It's like a trophy for me if I get one.
Yes.
Back when I was in college, and yes, this did happen in college, I didn't realize that they had wireless electric pencil sharpeners. And I would just always carry that around with me. And then one day, I'm just with my friends studying for my classes, and then mid conversation, I would just sharpen my pencil just right here in my hand, and they're giving me this look, and I'm just like, "Is there a problem? Have you not seen me sharpen pencils before?" And they're like,
Guys, my mom bought it. I'm on the here on top of here. You guys just use the sharpener, the
"Oh
regular
no,
one.
I bought it." I
Oh.
bought it with my money. Okay, all right. So, of course, when it comes to teaching, of course, there are students that do need extra help outside of class time. There are parents who have concerns for their children and how they're doing in their classes. So, of course, there are times when teachers would have office hours, and of course, teachers do have their own schedules. So, Sister Mary, which of the two do you like more? Do you prefer meeting
Oh, yeah.
with them in the mornings or in the afternoons?
Oh, usually teachers and students prefer the afternoon hours right after school because this is the only available time that all students can have right after school. And also, if they have the tutorials in the afternoon, they will know the competencies that they need to be guided and the activities that they didn't get or they didn't know so that they can ask for the assistance of their teachers in the afternoon.
And I think everyone should take advantage of this opportunity because I'll be honest, math was not my strongest suit
Ooh.
growing up. And so in school, I can't even begin to go in there. But it's just, I wish when I was going to school that there was basically an opportunity where they did provide afternoon tutorials because I think I would have passed geometry.
Uh,
You know, when I back when I was in college, there was this English class that a lot of people were struggling with, and coincidentally, all of us had the same teacher. And then my teacher was like, "I suppose I could extend my office hours. How does 4 o'clock sound for you guys?" And we're like, "Yeah, we could do that. We could do 4 o'clock." And then when I met my professor, the entire room just smelled like chicken, and because I walked in on him eating, but he was still willing to like meet with the students to help them out. So office hours are very much useful. And looks like that just about does it for our game. So thank you so much to our viewers and listeners who have, and of course to our panelists who have participated with us in our game. So Kuya Burn, what else do we have for today?
Of course, I have to ask, Sister Mary, what do you teach or what do you do in the educational field?
Oh, hi. Before I answer that question, I seek this opportunity to say good afternoon, good day to everyone who are watching, and welcome to INC Radio. Well, I'm a geometry teacher in Bayville Independent School Districts. Specifically, I'm teaching in AC Jones High School, teaching grade 9 to 12 geometry.
9 to 12.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes.
just remember it's K-12. Oh, I just
Uh-huh.
my grade school ends at 6,
Oh, yes.
and that's it. I'm happy. So for your geometry class, is it hard? Because um, back then when I was still a student, a grade school student, we never thought about geometry. Only the math, the algebra. That's it. Because now it's K-12. We didn't learn that. Um, when we got to high school, that's when the time we learned that, mostly second year, I think, or third year of high school. But for me, it was like, what is this? Is that the one with the graphs, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
actually, teaching geometry is, well, actually, all aspects of mathematics, right, are not really easy for everybody. But of course, we are teaching, me specifically, I teach geometry with guided activities so that all students can catch up and also will know all the lessons that they have to learn.
that's
I
cool.
Guided.
think what would have
Yeah.
been helpful for me going to school is like life applications to geometry because for some reason, so in the grand scheme of things, if you think about the practical like application now, I mean, do we use geometry to like measure like spaces to make sure that something will like fit in there, or if you're cutting like wood and you're trying to make a frame, right? So it's the I wish like my teacher in high school have done more of like a life application, like you need this, this equation in order for you to build this. I wish they had done that.
Actually,
Well,
I didn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Miss
yeah.
Sister
Okay,
Mary.
actually, I just want to share something. One of my students asked me if they're gonna use it in their real life situation scenario. Well, I said, I just asked a student, are you familiar with getting a license or taking a license, driver's license? And then he said yes. So, in taking driver's license, of course, you will do the parallel parking, right? So it applies geometry, right? Okay, so everybody here in Texas are applying for driver's license. So that's
I,
one of the
I would
examples.
like to see that in my side mirror. Well, if I teach parallel parking,
Yeah.
there's angles and degrees
Yeah,
that you have to
so
turn left or right. Yeah.
So speaking of parallel parking, because when I used to live in San Francisco, there's a lot of hills, and
mm,
there's really no parking. So you have to be creative with parking. So I
yeah.
remember someone gave me this tip. So when you're backing in, like your rear view mirror, like once you see it kind of like somewhat touching the sidewalk, that's when you start turning. Works all the time. But now that I live here in Texas, there's so much parking. I couldn't believe. I was like, "Oh, look at this! There's all this parking." But that is fantastic. I love that you said that to the students. It's like, you're going to be want to be driving, and you're going to
Yeah.
want this kind of skill. So this is so great. I love that life application. That's so awesome.
And there's one
Thank
more
you.
life application that I would like to share is when my mom tells me to buy something in the store. Of course, you'll use math because the one who sells you the product will give you change. Of course, when the change is not enough, you won't have extra chocolates to for yourself. So for me, I always count my change. If it's correct, and if it's still correct, I still get some money to to buy chocolate candies. And my mom would like ask, why is my change not enough? I don't know, maybe the
Yeah.
That's when algebra kicks in, Brother Bird.
Yep, surely did. It helped me.
And I think we've got a lot of comments and questions. Sister Savannah, why don't you enlighten us with what our viewers are saying about our topic today?
All right, hello everyone. Let me see who has been tuning in with us so far on our broadcast. So we have user user Michael Buick saying, "Good afternoon to everyone here in the District of Texas and around the world. Buick family watching from hashtag Universal City." And then we have our dear District CFO Overseer, Brother Matt Carl Talents, saying, "Woohoo! Hashtag Corpus Christi in the house." Again, congrats on Corpus Christi for winning the hashtag challenge. And let's see who has any questions for our dear teacher, Sister Mary. So far, we have from the user Kevin Marins asking, how do you deal with kids that give you problems? Can you answer that question, please, Sister Mary?
All right. Actually, it's part of the discussion later. On the last part of my interview, well, I will say and I will answer that specific question.
All right, got that. And then we'll see any other comments tuning in with us. We see a comment from a user, Will Sansom, saying, "My teacher showed me a lot of grace and understanding. That's great to bring into the school year." I can quite agree with that. And then we see another brother from, I believe, South Central States. It's the user Nathaniel Russell. He also says that I taught high school geometry for 7 years too. That is very nice to know. And then I will pen it back now to Glia Byrne. Thank you for tuning in.
Of course. Now I have a question, Sister Mary. How are you as an educator preparing for this semester?
Oh, okay. So I'm very excited to answer that. Actually, for now, I and not only me, but all teachers are so much prepared, most especially in our school district. We, with all the efforts given by our school district, all of the materials that we need, they give us everything. They provide us everything that we need that we can use in the classroom, and also the technology. We are so much well oriented of the technology and all the applications that we have to use inside our classroom, and so also the strategies to be used because we have experienced the 1 week professional development. So everything that we have to know, we are so much equipped of the strategies that we are going to use inside a classroom. So we have the capturing kids heart for disciplining students, right? And then the lead forward so that we can have the lots of strategies, engaging strategies prepared for our students. And of course, we're ready to face and welcome all the students in the class opening.
So are these resources provided by the school district, or is this something that like the teachers that you like from experience have, you know, kind of brought it on as part of your kind of curriculum?
Well, they provided it, but of course, as teacher, you have to you should be the one to integrate it inside your classroom. So you have to think of the artistically way of doing it or giving it to your students, or strategic the most strategic way of implementing it in your class.
Okay, that's awesome. I mean, there is a question on the in on the chat that how do you deal with I guess like I don't want to say problem students, but
Mm-hmm.
students that have challenges, right? Because then that's
Oh,
a really good question too. Because how do you recognize when a student is struggling, like what, like what are the telltale signs, especially like this might be helpful for the parents, so then they can also be involved in helping them also in like their challenges. Like how do you navigate that?
Okay, teacher should have lots of patience. Okay, so kids are kids, right? So they behave whatever they want. They speak their minds. They do whatever they want, and they do whatever they know that they which are right, right? But in a classroom situation, if there is not really problem kids, but misbehaving kids, all you have to do is to talk to him right away, and then ask him the needs that maybe he needs something, maybe he doesn't know how to do the activity. So you have to guide him and give all the things that he needs so that he will be behaved. And it's part of the discipline. Well, classroom discipline is very important in a classroom situation wherein it is done during the very first day of the class. So, as a teacher, you have to make a clear contract between you and your students. And it is so called a social contract. Okay. So, each class has social contract, different social contracts between all classes, because each class has specific needs, right? So, before you start, so specifically it is done the very first week of the class before you start teaching, because you cannot start teaching if you don't have the specific kind of discipline or classroom management that your students should know it right away.
So you're saying that like right at the very beginning, you already established the standards. In order for them to
Yes.
succeed in your classroom, these are kind of, I guess you can say, the rules, or what's expected of them. I like that. I like the
Yes.
transparency. I think that
Uh-huh.
helps, because I think kids for the most part they follow. They're, I mean, not all of them are kind of born leaders, but I think when there is that structure, it really does help. But for parents, Sister Mary, like how do you like encourage them like to be more involved in like their, basically the studies of their kids, and like what can they do to like help them along in the school year?
Okay, for parents, we have the so-called the Google Classroom, and most parents actually can access the Google Classroom. Okay, so yes. Okay, so they can see whether the kids are learning or not, or whether the kids are following instructions, whether the kids are submitting all the projects, and if ever that happens, that some of their kids will not submit it on a right time, well, we can send them messages just to tell them that your kids are doing good, but he miss, or he may have to submit some of the projects so that he may complete the task for the week, for the 9 weeks, something like that. So I think it's a proper communication with the parents, so that because it is a collaborative effort between teachers, parents, and students. Not only teacher to students. Teacher should also involve parents in order for them to know and to establish good rapport, and in order for their kids to learn more.
Wow, that is fantastic. Like words of wisdom. I wish that growing up we had more of this. I feel like this generation has more of like kind of a proactive approach in their kids' education, and really their upbringing. Because if you think about it, our kids spend a good amount of time during the day with their teacher. So I think this is a great, this is definitely a great, like advice, and hopefully parents out there, get ready, school starting.
Yeah.
Kind of get them all prepared for that. All right. So, what do we have going on? And I believe we have some activities that we are going to feature.
Okay, Kritik. We're ready for the CFO in action, please.
This is CFO in Action. let's take a look at some of the activities here in the District of Texas. On Saturday, August 3rd, we had our Binhi pottery decorating activity where our younger members in the church gathered together through video conferencing to decorate pieces of ceramic and pottery. On Sunday, August 4th, we had our district amateur radio and Volpe app seminar. And on Saturday, August 17th, we will have our Christian Brotherhood International or CBI special gathering for the Iglesia de Cristo students and their parents, followed by our INC students Unity Camp. That's all we have for today. For CFO in Action, this is Brother Justin Talyoga. And don't forget to subscribe to our INC Radio YouTube channel.
All right. Thank you so much, po, for the CFO in action. And of course, as the video said, please subscribe in our INC Radio Texas. Please leave a like and then subscribe on the channel so that you'll know. We'll send a notification when the Texas is on air. And of course, we have a shout out and greetings for our sister Mary.
All right, thank you. I would like to ask this opportunity to say hi to all the sisters and brothers in Corpus Christi, District of Texas. Hello, hello. And is it okay if I mention the name of my principal here? Well, shout out and hi to Miss Cherie Bogany, the principal of AC Jones High School, and to our beloved superintendent, Bevel ISD, Mr. Fanning. Thank you. Thank you for for having me
Awesome.
here.
Awesome. Thank you, Sister Mary, for of course giving us the information that we need as so we can prepare, of course, not only the parents but us students coming in for the semester. Sister Jamie, how about you?
I just wanted to shout out everyone who's tuning in from Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Also, like to my friends and family out there in Northern California, you know who you guys are. And most especially, I want to shout out to all the teachers out there who are, who are truly the pillars of, of our future in terms of like, our kids getting the education. You don't get enough kudos. So thank you for, for all that you do.
And brother Justin, sorry.
Yes, of course. A shout out to also the local congregation of Austin and also to Corpus Christi for winning last week's hashtag challenge.
Sister Savannah, I see you on the CFO in action video. That's very good. Being active and all that.
Yes, brother. I actually love that activity and I hope to participate in more. And I would like to shout out also to the teachers, especially since I'm also an upcoming senior this year. I would like to appreciate all my professors that I'm going to be like attending this year since I'm signing up for some college classes, to get a head start. So, yes.
Thank you. Thank you again for all the teachers who have dedicated their life to pursue this the job that it's not hard, it's not easy. I mean, to have all these kids, you're the second parent of this children that the parents are entrusted are entrusting into you, that you will do a fine job on educating them, not only to be be respectful but also to be successful in life. So thank you so much, dear teachers. And we would like to thank also our CFO overseer, Brother Archie Talents, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chody Sampson, of course, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Caratativo, and special thank you for our Executive Producer, Brother Emmanuel Indaya, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI CAO, Brother Angelo Aranio V. Manalo, and special thank you for our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Tune in IC Radio Texas next Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And introducing the next show would be IC Radio Virginia. Thank you so much.